and a warm welcome. I'm Reha Siddiqui and you're watching Viewpoint. The horrific video of two women being paraded naked by a group of men in Manipur cut short proceedings in both the houses of the parliament, making it a rocky start to the monsoon session. Today, on its second day, the centre continues to face the political storm, and that storm has Manipur written all over it. Opposition parties are insisting that the Prime Minister make a suo motu statement, followed by a discussion suspending all business for the day under Rule 267 to take up the Manipur issue. But the government agreed only to a short duration discussion under Rule 176. While gravitas is clearly given a miss by sparring over the said rules, let's still explain the technicalities associated with them and get that out of the way. Under Rule 267, Rajya Sabha MPs can give a written notice to suspend all listed business and discuss an issue of importance that the country is facing. Short duration discussion, on the other hand, is a brief discussion not exceeding 2.5 hours under Rule 176. Now, what's the opposition's grouse? It is going on to allege that none of its notices under Rule 267 are being taken up. Going by facts, in the entire winter session, Rajya Sabha Chairperson Jagdeep Thankar had rejected 8 notices under the said rule within 2 days on matters that were of high importance, such as the border issue with China and rising prices of essential commodities. The opposition also argues that the last such discussion under Rule 267 happened way back in 2016 when the House discussion was on demonetization. Now on to the argument that we make today. Is Manipur issue not of urgent public importance that discussions in the House should have led with it? Whether just 2.5 hours or the entire day, at least begin it. Where's that step from either the government or from the opposition?
महिलाओं को अपने माँ समझता है, माँ लोगों को हम लोग पूजा करना है, उसका इज्जत करना है, इसीलिए जो भी हुआ वायरल हुआ है उसको कंडेमनेशन का मीटिंग है आज, बाकी कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे।
मणिपुर में 2 महीनों से पूरा प्रदेश जल रहा है, महिलाओं के साथ भयावह अत्याचार हो रहा है और हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 77 दिन के लिए कोई बयान ही नहीं दिया इस पे।
मैं स्पष्ट रूप से यह आरोप लगाना चाहता हूँ अध्यक्ष महोदय कि सचमुच ये प्रतिपक्ष बड़ी बड़ी घटना को लेकर जितना गंभीर होना चाहिए वो गंभीर नहीं है।
कहा गया आपका बेटी बचाओ स्लोगन, आज बेटी जला रहे हैं, आज बेटी जल रहे हैं, आज मणिपुर जल रहा है, आज पूरा देश जल रहा है।
हम लोग भी देश का बेटी है, मणिपुर का भी देश का बेटी है, पश्चिम बंगाल बाहर नहीं है।
I'm sure no effort will be left unaddressed in getting these people punished.
Are you comparing it with what's happening in Bengal? Let's have a discussion in Bengal. Why are you reducing everything to state versus state?
मैं हाथ जोड़ के विनती करता हूं केंद्र सरकार से कि नींद से जागे और इस विषय पे चर्चा कराएं।
Let me now open this up before my panel, who joins me this evening. Charu Pragya of the BJP is with us. Swati Malik of the Congress Party is with us. Dr. Chin Khang Loong, who is Assistant Professor at St. Stephen's College, Delhi University, is also with us. And also joining us on the broadcast is Professor Monojit Mandal, who's a TMC sympathizer. Let me begin with you, Charu Pragya. Why no discussion? When we talk about the sections that are stalling the discussion in the Rajya Sabha, what about the Lok Sabha? Why is nothing being said after the Prime Minister addressing a media before the start of the monsoon session, and after that, nothing, absolute zero?
We are very respectfully. We all understand the gravity of the situation. We all understand that this is an incident which has shamed the entire nation. And yet, it is an incident which is getting a lot of political noise. Political noise needs to be separated from this so that justice can prevail. And I, as a woman, completely understand that there has been a lapse, there has been a delay. But do you think screaming and shouting and making sure that Parliament doesn't function in a normal way is going to fix the problem? Or is the problem going to be fixed by taking action on ground? Even though the action might be late, but at least let us take some action now. From all the statements that I'm hearing from all political party members, again, very respectfully, they are not talking of what can be done in the future. They just want to continue to cry and shout about this happened. Well, unfortunately, for all of us, we know this happened. Can we move forward from here? Ensure something like this does not happen again. And at the same time, make sure whether this kind of an incident is reported from a corner in Manipur or a corner in West Bengal or any other corner in this country for that matter. Why is it that such a huge outcry is required to make it reach its logical end? The perpetrators are punished. Make such an example of them that no one even dares to act like that the next time. I'm sorry. These political debates, where there are two sides of a story, don't agree with me right now, Griha. They do not agree with me because I do not understand how anybody sitting on this panel today can have a side to this story which is not matching mine. Can you say that you don't want justice to prevail? Can you say perpetrators should not be punished? I am already agreeing with you that there has been a lapse. So can we move forward from there? Speak from the same side of the fence. Stop attacking each other and make sure that we treat every single crime at parity with the other. Let's not single out one incident. The situation is very, very grave. I appeal to everyone, especially political party representatives. I know the media is handling it with a lot of sensitivity, but political party representatives now to shift this around into a narrative which is going to fix the situation for women in every part of the country, rather than keep shouting about this is what went wrong. And only if the Prime Minister speaks in Lok Sabha, it's going to be fixed. Well, the Prime Minister has spoken once. I don't know what new box you're going to tick if he's going to repeat that entire same statement in Lok Sabha again. Have you not all heard it sufficiently? Why are you running behind these minor technicalities? The government is ready for a discussion. Who stalled the discussion yesterday? The government is ready for a discussion even now. Rajya Sabha, we are saying let's have a discussion. Are you willing to have a discussion, or are you just looking for excuses to make sure mayhem continues?
Okay, Swati Malik, I'd like you to come in on this. Why not meet the government midway? What is this entire blocking of the argument that it needs to be a full-day discussion in the Rajya Sabha, or the Prime Minister must speak in the Lok Sabha? Only then will we not stall the proceedings in the House, and that is the only thing that is acceptable to the opposition, otherwise not.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked at what's come from my friend Charu. She says, I mean, the BJP, as a spokesperson for BJP, she says that, okay, something's happened, now move forward, move on. Yes, something has happened, but what we are calling out the government on is for accountability.
Yeah.
Please sack the chief minister so we can have some trust in you and we can move forward. How can they even come up with this, this argument? How can they even say that, yes, for 77 days something happened, the Prime Minister was quiet, but now he has spoken, he's spoken for 8 seconds. 36 seconds, sorry, he's spoken for 36 seconds out of his almost 9-minute speech that he gave yesterday. Is that all that Manipur deserves? Is that all that Manipur women who have been wronged, they deserve from their Prime Minister? Or from our Women Development Minister, Ms. Smriti Irani? She's also silent till this video went viral. It is shocking. Yes, we want to move on. Yes, we want to, make all the states equally safe for everybody, all women. We want all that, but we want our Prime Minister to lead us. What was please tell me, the Chief Minister, Mr. Biren Singh, he himself has said that as he saw FIR going, and then he said he was shocked to find out about this viral video. Did he not know? He's not only the Chief Minister, he's also the Home Minister. Police reports to him. Did he not know? What action did they take for those 77 days? Now, of course, all 4 arrests have been made, because internet opened up and the video went viral. There was no internet. So nobody got to know the atrocities that were happening in Manipur. And they want us, the public of India, to move on. The opposition to not raise their voice.
No, you're creating sensationalism, Swati. This is the situation.
Let her make a point.
Do not
Charu, let her make a point. Let her make a point. You can counter it later. Let her make a point first.
We are fighting for accountability on behalf of the Chief Minister. We are fighting for accountability on behalf of the Prime Minister and of the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah. Let's not forget Let's not forget that we are the same country that have overturned governments. Nirbhaya happened. Governments were changed. Government will change. This women minister, she was the one sitting on all the streets for the 450 rupees cylinder. Now when 1200 cylinders happened, she's silent. What is happening? Why such double standard? When the double engine Sarkar has failed, own to it.
Okay,
Own
Charu, you
to it.
wanted to interject on the point that Swati was making. I'd like to understand this one aspect while you go ahead and make your point against the point that's been raised by Swati. You know, what we see happening in Manipur, and I would want my producers to pull out those visuals. We just saw the perpetrators who have been charged with what was seen in that viral video. Their houses were burned down by mobs. That is being allowed to happen also. Even that is illegal because that is extrajudicial authority that is coming on ground, because there is no authority that is really speaking on behalf of the people of Manipur. There needs to be an interjection that comes in by the way of the Chief Minister and the Prime Minister, which is clearly missing because at least it's not reached the ground. So both ways, if we are questioning what has happened as far as the mobocracy, the mob justice, which was actually meted out to the women, unfortunately, and what is happening right now on the screens, what we are seeing with the houses being burned down, how should any of that be allowed? There needs to be some sort of a strong voice. The person who calls the shots, the Prime Minister, be speaking about it. There is some aspect where the opposition also is hell-bent on why not have a discussion in the Lok Sabha. So why not do away with it? It's a horrendous thing that has happened out of Manipur.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying here. And what is continuing to transpire is a situation which shows us that the law and order scene is extremely bad and that needs to be controlled again. I understand all about accountability. Of course I do. And so does the government. Let me assure you that when any part of this country burns like this, is troubled like this, the first people to be affected and to be concerned and to be working to fix it is the state government and the central government in this case. Please let me not remind you that there is no one who wishes for this to continue, and that is what I want to humbly repeat again and again. This is a situation which is impacting everyone in the same horrible way. Please do not think that because you represent a political party which is different from mine today, it somehow makes your pain greater than mine, or it somehow thinks that you are questioning it any more than we are. We are all in the same boat. We are all hoping that this resolves as soon as possible, and that is going to happen only when you stop creating mayhem. Let the government please do its work. Everybody is ready for a discussion. Nobody refused to have a discussion here. Nobody refused to have a discussion. But did you attempt for a discussion yesterday, or did you yesterday just say we will not let Parliament run? Today also, when the government says let's begin by talking for 2 hours, you'd rather not begin anywhere. You want to continue arguing and saying, let's do a whole day or do nothing at all.
Okay.
How does that make any sense?
Monojit Mandal, I'd want to understand, there's a TMC delegation that has left for Manipur. They are also trying to take stock of the situation. More and more details are coming to light, like the role of the NCW is now being questioned. Nothing was done on behalf of the National Commission for Women when this incident, 38 days before the incident, things really reached on the condition, the atrocities that were meted out to women. If all of this was in the know of the Chief Minister in the state or the administration, possibly things could have been sorted for the Manipuris. Don't you think that justification is also a miss?
Yeah, ours is the only political party perhaps in this country which has been raising this issue for the last 2 months, including some of the shows that I attended with you. Myself has raised this issue.
Yeah.
Nobody paid any heed, including, sorry to say, Griha, including the media. When the particular minister of states of the central government, he cried helplessly when his house was burned down. Nobody paid attention. When Army General was saying that it's almost like Ukraine and Russia, nobody paid any attention. Why? BJP, central government, state government, they were all passive onlookers. Now please, can you not stop this drama by this woman who is a parliamentarian from Bengal, who is coming from the world of films, Why I'm
But
saying
what do you
this
have to
is
say
not
about the tears that
No,
Lokesh
this is-
Chatterjee
this is
shed?
nauseating.
Because I want
This
to
particular-
understand. I want to understand that the BJP constantly.
This is absolutely nauseating. I
Yeah,
tell you why I'm saying this. I tell
those
you.
are your personal views, but I want to understand that BJP constantly is talking
Everything
about
that
the
happens
other
in West
states.
Bengal,
Once again,
Mr.
Charu.
I'll tell you.
Once
I'm
again,
not
Charu.
Deliberately
Please
blinded
ask her
to
to
it.
stop.
No, this
I'll
is
tell
bad.
you.
He should
Ask her to stop.
apologize.
Please,
When
how
we
to
talk
stop?
about, once again,
Ask her
Charu,
to
Charu, let me
stop.
ask my question. Monojit, when we talk about violence on women, when we talk about violence on women, and if at all the BJP, because BJP is hell-bent on raising issues which are there in each and every state. One argument is that this is also diluting what has happened in Manipur, because right now the attention needs to be on Manipur. But once again, you have a BJP member like Lokesh Chatterjee shedding tears, talking about the condition of women, the violence that has erupted in the state of West Bengal. So this is clearly politicking. But how do you see that juxtaposition?
First of all, what I said about this particular parliamentarian, I stand by it. And I'll give you an example.
No.
10th April
You have to
2020. Please ask her
apologize.
to stop.
Okay, first
Please
of
ask.
all,
No
you know what?
question
We
of
are all
apology.
women.
Let her
Please
make a
ask
point.
her to stop.
Let her make a point. One
Please
second.
ask
I just said that this is his personal opinion. He should not be presenting it on this platform.
This is
One
the
second.
way
Let him
these
make the
people
point.
behave.
Yes,
He's
Monojit.
repeating it again.
Inside the
Monojit.
studio, outside the
Repeating it.
studio. This is the way. This
They turn a
particular
blind eye
parliamentarian.
to atrocities in
Please
their own
ask her to.
state.
Once again, Charu,
can I
let
beg
him
your
complete his
indulgence?
point. I will allow you to come in.
beg your
Charu,
indulgence
Please be
Charu,
respectful for a woman.
Charu,
Can I
Charu,
beg your indulgence for 30 seconds, Grace?
This is not the
Please be
parliament.
respectful
You know, this
towards
is
her.
not the Lok Sabha. This is not the
Can I
parliament.
beg
We
your
want some
indulgence
sort of
for
a
30
discussion happening over here. Monojit, first please respond. Charu, I'll come to you.
With him in
No, one second. One second, please, Charu. I request you. Let him respond.
What the hell is this,
Yes,
madam?
yes, please, Monojit.
This particular parliamentarian, I'm giving you the date, 2021, 10th April, during the assembly election. In her constituency, she broke her own car. It is in the video. I do have the video. I'll send you the video if you want. She broke her own car and then she created the same kind of drama. If it is false, I'm taking responsibility of this statement, not my party will take.
Okay,
If it is false, ask her
just
to
go
file
ahead and
cases.
address the larger question.
This person
I
is
get your
known to
point.
create such
Address the
drama.
larger
She's trying
question.
to
What do you
dilute
have to
the
say
whole
about the
thing.
juxtaposition
Please, can you
of
not-
violence on
can you
women
not
in
show
various
this
states?
nauseating video
No,
on
one
national
second.
TV by
No.
Lokesh Chatterjee?
One second. No,
Can
that's
you
our
not-
call
can
to
you
make.
not stop
Monojit,
showing
that's
this
our call
video
to make.
to
I
dilute
am
the whole
asking you a
thing?
simple
She's
question.
trying to deflect, dilute the whole thing, the kind of thing that's happening in Manipur. And for God's sake, please do not indulge in this kind of drama by these dramatics, I should say, or melodrama, I should say, by this parliamentarian.
Okay,
If it is
Monojit,
wrong,
you know what?
if it is wrong, ask her
You
to
know
file
what?
a case against me.
This
I come
is
to the point
a
again.
news channel,
This was
and we
happening-
have to have some visual representation. If you are a member of the Trinamool Congress, and I would like you to go ahead and answer a question which is pertaining to what are the allegations that the Bharatiya Janata Party is making, and there is something that has happened as the proceedings of the day have taken place. I will put it out and I will ask you that question. I want to understand if the BJP is questioning the status of women in the state of West Bengal and also talking about the violence in juxtaposition of the Manipur incident. How do you respond to that?
I'll talk about that. Post-poll violence, torture against women who are investigating the case for the last 2 years. Answer, CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation. Show me a single charge sheet of any rape, murder committed by TMC workers. Show me. I talk about evidence. I talk about facts. And now this particular incident, the DG police, Director General of Police today made press conference about the fact that this is utterly false. And these people, BJP, whether inside the TV or outside the studio, they are known for creating drama, narrative, falsity. Shubhendu Adhikari's immunity has been taken away by the High Court. Now there can be FIR filed against him. There is videos. He wanted to create tension in Bengal. That's what they are known for. There are videos where he's saying that I will create situation where there will be 355 in this state. There are videos. And there are now FIRs will be registered against him because the court has given permission. Till that point of time, till yesterday, the court did not give us any permission to file FIR. And that was very strange. One particular bench, I repeat, one particular bench had given him unhindered immunity. That even if he commits murder, you cannot file FIR against him. You have to take permission of this particular court. Thankfully, the higher bench has dismissed that order. And now that law will take its own course. I asked this BJP spokesperson, CBI investigating the matter for the last 2 years, post-poll violence, crime against women, show me the charge sheet. Ask them to show the charge sheet or else let them apologize to the people of Bengal for maligning us for the last 2 years. Shame on you,
Oh,
BJP.
really? Can I come in now?
Okay,
Priya?
one
Can I
second.
come in?
Charu, before I let you
Can I
come in
respond,
here
please?
and respond to the allegations that the Trinamool Congress member is making, I'd like to actually bring Dr. Chin Khanroon because he's been patiently listening, the one apolitical person on this panel. Dr. Chin Khanroon, after you've seen all this political bickering really happening in the wake of Manipur and what Manipur is witnessing, the entire country can see that the state is burning. How do you see this being played out? As far as the center of democracy, the parliament is concerned, what are the parliamentarians doing and what is happening on ground?
Griya, thank you very much for the time. First off, I would like to put out my gratitude to all the parliamentarians and the politicians who are out there trying to push forward the voice of the voiceless and marginalized people who have take cognition of the grave suffering of the people from Manipur. So that's my gratitude to everyone. And of course, it has been delayed. We have been waiting for the voice to be heard, and we have come. And it is extremely unfortunate that it has to be the disgrace of our sisters which bring us the attention, which is extremely painful for us, because we were hoping that as a citizen of this great country, democratic country, we could have been heard without the disgrace of our sister. So that is one thing I would like to put forward to my countrymen and my country women and my fellow human beings, that the weak need not be put to shame to be heard. I hope that doesn't exist. I hope we can get past of this. And another thing which I would like to put forward is that when the elephant fights, the grasses suffer, comes extremely relevant in this case. Big political parties are fighting for their own agendas, nonetheless maybe our agendas, but still the one who is suffering and the justice that is being delayed for us is for us who are marginalized and weak. So therefore, my appeal to my fellow citizens at the same time are VVIPs, politicians, please learn to be reasonable in a situation like this. Know that there are people waiting for your consideration and clear judgment and rational thinking. Having taken that out of the way, I would like to bring forth that the atrocities that has been happening in Manipur has to be looked in a very rational, clear way. Now, if you look at the Manipur context, I would like to speak as a tribal in context to the tribal, because right now the tribals, the non-Naga, I would say as of now, are fighting against the state, not the Meitei communities, but the state. Because if you look at the stories that came out, how can Manipur police be handing over our sisters to the mob and no action at all being taken? Which means we are absolutely fighting against. Then who do we have next to approach? It is the central government. And we have been waiting for the central government to take cognition of it. We have been running around, crying out there. So that is something has to be seen, because the incident happened on the 4th, and there was an FIR on the 18th. And today it's more than 70 days. And with the verbal interviews are available, but with the coming of the visuals, so the horrendous nature of the action. Now, as the Chief Minister rightly say, that there are so many of those things happening. So therefore, one has to see how horrible the situation is out there. Now, looking at our situation, in looking at to our ruling party, I would like to appeal that they look the history very carefully. Because the tribals in Manipur have been marginalized for a very long time. Now, to put in how they are marginalized, to put into perspective and focus it.
Yeah.
If you look at the Manipur Land Revenues and Land Reform Act of the 1960, it clearly said in the section 1 of subsection 2 that this shall not apply to the hills, clearly. But there was an amendment in 1985 where the amendment was made in such a way that that part was added in such a way that the state government has a right to intrude into the hill areas. Now, it's 1985. Now, if you are clearly trying to understand the marginalization, look at the literacy level of the entire country in 1985. It's on for the entire country. It is only 32%, if I'm not mistaken. In 1981, it is 32%, so it should not cross 35 by 1985.
Yeah, Dr. Chinkanglu, I understand
Now,
the exact point that you're making. I'm really
30...
sorry I have to come in here because otherwise we will not be able to actually bring in the other panels. But I'd like to bring Charu, Swati and Monojit's attention to what Dr. Chinkanglu had just said. Doesn't it hang your heads in shame? You know, whatever is happening in Manipur, and on top of it, there is a political bickering happening not just in the parliament, but here very much on live television on this panel. What is being done on the ground? Here, people on the in Manipur are actually waiting for that answer and that action which is clearly missing. No action so far. Even if, Charu, you say that the Prime Minister has spoken, what is the opposition's problem? What has happened after that? If you're saying the Chief Minister should not hand his resignation, what is he doing as a follow-up? All of those questions need to be answered. And the other point that Doctor has made over here is this entire High Court order that has led to this turmoil. So let me ask you this, why not nip it in the bud? Why not put it on hold? Why is the state government and the government of the centre, the double engine Sarkar, deciding on that?
Yeah, the High Court order has actually, it's come from a space of not understanding the on-ground situation.
And you know what, while we are talking about this, Charu, I'm really sorry, we have got some breaking news. I was talking about extrajudicial authority at play on ground. Now we are getting to understand that the home of the second accused in this Manipur horror has been torched. This is what is happening on ground in Manipur, even as we debate what should be there, what should be done in the parliament. Accused Laishram's house has been torched in the Lake area. My colleague Komalika has brought us that detail. Let me get in a quick word from Komalika, then I'll go back to my panel. Yes, Komalika.
Yeah, this is Lashiram Kavichandra, whose age is around 20, and he is also one of the allegation is also against this person who was there amidst all this team of 25. And now we see that the local sources, and we also got the visuals, that people have set his house also on fire, and today in the morning also we have seen such acts. So this is another question now. This is a situation where situation is anyway sensitive in Manipur. Yes. And with the viral video, and there is no answer to this video. I mean, this is a horrific video and this is a horrific act altogether. So, this incidents too are now happening, which is also an area of concern. If you consider, last 1 month, things were a little better than what it was in the month of May. But with the, if such acts are not, if such acts are actually not coming out, then this is, when it comes out as a viral video and, see what has happened, these are certain other incidents which is also very concerning.
Absolutely. Komalika, thank you so much for putting out that breaking piece of input. Charu, let me go back to that same question I asked you earlier. This is what is happening on ground in Manipur. Where is the Chief Minister? Why is he not on ground?
So from what I understand about the situation in Manipur, we need the authorities to be able to do their work. Just changing the head of the state at a time like this. See, I'm not an authority here. I can only tell you what my point of view is. And I obviously have no idea which way the government is planning to act, but act they will. And I assure everyone of only that. Right now, the Chief Minister is on the ground. In the last 1.5 days, 4 arrests have been made. The remaining arrests will very continually and very quickly, swiftly be made. The situation in Manipur right now with the torching down of the homes of the victims, I think it is a response to the anger the people are feeling.
But these responses will continue, Charu. If no intervention is done, these responses will continue. And you know what? There is an important fact. This is not coming in from the Kuki community. The first house was burned by the Meitei community itself. So when it is about sparring of the two communities, the Kukis and the Meiteis, that is not happening right now, because here there is an anger towards the administration, and that's the point that Dr. Chinkhanlu was also making. Don't you think that there needs to be a deliberation on that by both the political parties, government of the centre and also the opposition?
And say 20 years ago, when the situation in Manipur was terribly bad, the government of that time actually took some decisions which has backfired in such a way that we are seeing the repercussions of that today. And with all responsibility, Griha, those things need to be corrected. These are historical errors which governments of the past have made, which need to be corrected today. As of the situation between the Meiteis and the Kukis, see, from what I understand from conversations to people in Manipur, there are people from both the communities who are completely against the violence, but that mob mentality has taken over. Unfortunately, that mob mentality
Charu, unfortunately, borrowing your word, I'd still feel that there needs to be a timeout for this sort of a retaliation to stop coming out from the state, which is what happened on May 4th when that video refused to come out with the internet gagging that the state had seen. It finally saw light of the day 77 days later, and still the political bickering on this is not stopping. There is nobody on ground. The Home Minister went months back. Nothing is happening right now. The political situation in the parliament needs to be sorted, but first the lives of the Manipuris need to be actually taken care of, and that is the foremost and most important question that all of you really must deliberate upon. I'll have to leave it at that. That's all the time that I had on this debate this evening. We are moving quickly to the next debate, but right now we're switching and going into a very, very short break. Up next, we'll be talking about the Gyanvapi showdown. The court has given a nod for the scientific survey of the mosque. That's coming out after a very short break.